Hi guys, my name is Nonima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to do a brief summary of Witness A, Witness B, Witness C testimony there by Madlanga Commission. And I also can't wait for them to go to the ad hoc committee. I think they have done an incredible job because they gave us juicy stories, juicy, scary stories about the rot that is at South African police services and how criminal syndicates and cartels are involved in the security of the country. No wonder Mkhwanazi felt like there is a breach of, there's a serious security breach of the country because cartels that are moving or dealing with the white powder are the ones that are controlling everything. So let's get into a summary first of Witness A, then we'll do a second video on Witness B, then a third video on Witness C. Then we will summarize also Bheki Cele's evidence in Parliament. And then after that, we'll go back to our normal routine, the Senzo Meyiwa case, while other cases are not there yet. Here's what Witness A, here's a summary of a key testimony from Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, chaired by Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga, given by Witness A, an anonymous serving officer in the organized crime unit, drawing on reports. One thing that I must tell you, I'm seriously worried about them, the A and B and C, because their voices are not changed. They are speaking with their very own voices. Now, who is Witness A? A serving member of the organized crime unit of South African Police Services in Gauteng, testified anonymously for security reasons, having lived in safe houses due to credible threats. What is the testimony covers? Witness A alleged that senior Gauteng and national officials are linked to DRUG cartels and criminal syndicates involved in contract killings. He linked these allegations to the murder of engineer and whistleblower Ahmad Swart in April 2024, connected to irregular tender awards at Transnet. He described being invited by a colleague to a social event, the White House on the Hill, in May 2024, which was attended by senior officials, including the head of National Organized Crime Unit, Richard Shibiri. Witness A interpreted this as a possibility, as a possible test to see whether he and his colleagues could be influenced. He testified to discovering tampering of ballistic reports in the Swart murder investigation, specifically that senior officers required a new report which omitted 15 bullet cartridges found at the crime scene, thereby breaking the link to other murderers. He said that of the 5 detectives on the Swart case, 3 withdrew citing threats. He and one other remained and they kept the docket in their possession at all times. Why is all of this matters, guys? The testimony puts senior police leadership in Gauteng and national under suspicion of collusion with organized crime, undermining investigations into serious offenses, murder, contract killings. It suggests manipulation of forensic evidence and interference in investigations which go to the heart of state capacity and rule of law. The fact that investigators felt compelled to live in safe houses and withdraw from cases for fear of retaliation indicates a deep structural problem in the policing environment. What is the caveats and context of this entire situation? Because the witness is anonymous and many of the events relate to ongoing investigation, full details, names, documentary evidence are either under protection or subject to further verification. The commission's work is still ongoing. The testimony is one piece among many that will underlie the final report of the Madlanga Commission. The witness full statement and supporting exhibits may not yet be publicly available in full. Fear the people that are working for SAPS that decide they are done being under blue uniforms, but they will deep dive there on the criminal cartels. It's great that makes that, because they now want those monies that they get there, those envelopes. Now, here is a expanded breakdown of key allegations and evidentiary material presented to the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the criminal, political interference, and corruption in the criminal justice system, commonly the Madlanga Commission, chaired by Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga. The material is drawn principally from publicly reported testimony of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, KZN Provincial Police Commissioner, and others. I also note where claims allegations are not yet fully verified. All right. Number one, commission mandate and context. The Madlanga Commission was established by Cyril Ramaphosa in July 2025 to investigate allegations that organized crime syndicates have infiltrated the police service and other organs of the state, including the suppression or manipulation of investigations, inducement into criminal actions by state leadership, intimidation, victimization, or targeted removal of whistleblowers or officials resisting criminal influence. The Commission has powers, according to its regulations, to summon witnesses, compel documents, and refer matters for investigation and prosecution. The first public hearing commenced 17 September 2025 with General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi as the first witness. One thing at this point that I believe is that chances are very high that even the one that said, let's do a commission, is like, I'm regretting it right now, because what? The things that are being said there, whoa! Number two, key allegations by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. The principal claims made by him are as follows. A, criminal syndicates, white powder cartel infiltration. He told the commission that the arrest of the crime intelligence chief, Dumisani Khumalo, was deliberate to block an investigation into a major white powder cartel based in Gauteng. He alleged that some units within the Independence Directorate for Anti-Corruption, which is known as IDEC, were weaponized to sabotage law enforcement efforts rather than supporting them. And also, he said that roughly 18 criminal cases in Gauteng against alleged syndicate figure Vusumuzi Ket Matlala were withdrawn, suggesting systemic protection. Kunzima, guys. B, political interference in policing or task team disbandment. We've spoken about this in so many and he presented alleged WhatsApp messages and other communications suggested that Matlala and his associate Brown Mokgotsi had access to senior officials, official and influence decision, e.g., the disbandment of the political killings task team or the leak of information. He claimed that the provincial political killings task team, a specialized unit, was disbanded by then Police Minister Senzo Mchunu in December 2024 without proper consultation and interference that undermines the constitutional independence of the police. C, obstruction of investigations or evidence tampering. He said the arrest of Khumalo and the maneuvers around it were meant to sabotage investigation into the cartel. He asserted that senior police leadership pressured investigators or blocked access to information to protect criminal networks. Number three, supporting evidence or corroboration efforts. The commission is hearing additional witnesses who purport to support Mkhwanazi's allegations, e.g., detective, task team members, prosecutors. Example, the WhatsApp chats and communications between Matlala, Mokgotsi, and senior officials are said to form part of the evidentiary material. The commission has accepted that some evidence may be heard in camera closed session for witness protection reasons. Number four, alleged persons or entities implicated so far. Here is a non-exhaustive list of those named in the testimony. Senzo Mchunu, former police minister, alleged to have ordered political killings task team disbandment and to have ties to Mokgotsi or Matlala. Vusumuzi Matlala alleged cartel figure influencing police and tender processes. Brown Mokgotsi alleged to act as intermediary for Matlala with personal access to senior police or political figures. 4. Shadrack Sibiya, Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detention, under scrutiny for allegedly collusion or cover-ups. Uyabona this one, he keeps coming up. Number 5, what means to be determined or issues of verification? While many allegations have been made publicly, the commission still must test evidence under oath and allow the accused a chance to respond. Some of the claims remain unverified or are at the allegation stage. A recurring criticism in media commentary weighs the evidence. Some argue that documents or witnesses have not yet been fully produced or cross-examined. The legality and independence of the commission itself are being challenged, e.g. the Umkhonto weSizwe Party on grounds of appointment processes and timing. Implications. If borne out, the allegations suggest that criminal syndicate may have infiltrated policing and law enforcement structures that senior level, undermining trust, the rule of law and public safety. The disbandment of key investigative units, withdrawal of cases, and alleged internal sabotage may represent systematic weaknesses rather than individual misconduct. The commission's recommendations could lead to disciplinary action, arrest, institutional reform, and challenges in oversight for South African police services and related agencies. A note on witness A and anonymous testimony. Some of the sources see witness A serving officer who made additional allegations of cartel links and tampering of evidence. I did not locate a detailed public evidence that is out there, okay? Published, anything that has been published yet. Witness A, in the major media sources, they are just telling us what we already see. So we are yet to hear and to see more of these things now regarding witness A's evidence. Those are the summary of the things that they covered. That was witness A. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Because it looks like very scary things are about to happen in SA, because people won't want to go down just like that. They will want to fight back. So when you look at this, what are your thoughts? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.